Imagine a universe not as a divine clockwork, but as an endless sea of stars, each a sun, perhaps with its own worlds teeming with life. In an age when Earth was the undisputed center of creation, such a thought was not merely radical. It was an act of profound heresy. This is the story of a man who dared to look beyond the celestial spheres and envision an infinite cosmos, paying the ultimate price for his vision. His name was Giordano Bruno, and his journey into the cosmic unknown would lead him directly to the flames of the Inquisition, forever etching his name in the annals of intellectual courage and sacrifice. Our story begins not in the quiet halls of academia, but amidst the crackling flames of the Roman Inquisition. It is February 17th, 1600. In the bustling Campo de' Fiori, a man named Giordano Bruno stands condemned. His crime? Not treason, nor violence, but a radical vision of the cosmos. For centuries, the geocentric model, Earth at the center, surrounded by perfect crystalline spheres, had dominated scientific and religious thought. It was a comforting, ordered universe, a testament to humanity's What of the incarnation, the central tenet of Christianity, if Christ's sacrifice was only for this one, insignificant world? Bruno's ideas stripped humanity of its cosmic privilege and the church of its absolute authority over a singular, divinely ordained creation. His universe was pantheistic, suggesting God was immanent in all things, rather than a transcendent creator overseeing a fixed order. This was not just a scientific debate. It was a battle for the soul of the universe itself. For advocating such dangerous ideas, Bruno could find no peace. Excommunicated by the Dominicans, he embarked on a peripatetic life, wandering across Europe for 16 years. From Geneva to Paris, London to Wittenberg, he sought intellectual freedom and patrons who would support his radical thought. He debated, lectured, and published prolifically, yet his confrontational style and refusal to compromise his beliefs often led to expulsion. He was a man ahead of his time, a restless spirit whose brilliant mind could not tolerate intellectual stagnation, making him an outcast in almost every major intellectual center. In 1591, after years of self-imposed exile, Bruno made a fateful decision to return to Italy. He accepted an invitation from Giovanni Mocenigo, a Venetian nobleman who claimed to desire private tutoring in mnemonics and philosophy. But Mocenigo's intentions were insidious. He quickly grew suspicious of Bruno's unorthodox views and, fearing he would lose the philosophical secrets, denounced him to the Venetian Inquisition. It was a calculated betrayal, a trap laid by a man who admired Bruno's intellect, but ultimately feared the radical implications of his freedom of thought. The wanderer's journey was about to end. The Venetian Inquisition quickly found Bruno guilty of heresy, but Rome wanted him. After months of diplomatic wrangling, Bruno was transferred to Rome in 1593, handed over to the far more formidable Roman Inquisition. His trial lasted 7 agonizing years, punctuated by interrogations, pleas to recant, and his unwavering defiance. The charges against him were extensive, denying the Trinity, the divinity of Christ, the virginity of Mary, transubstantiation, and, crucially, his belief in infinite worlds. The Church sought not just to silence him, but to break his spirit and force a recantation that would invalidate his entire philosophical system. Despite years of imprisonment, torture, and the constant threat of death, Bruno steadfastly refused to recant his core beliefs. He offered minor concessions, but on the fundamental matters, the infinite universe, the plurality of worlds, the immanence of God, his spirit remained unyielding. Faced with his defiance, the Inquisition pronounced its final sentence, mercifully turning him over to the secular authorities, knowing full well what that meant. Bruno's response was chillingly defiant. Perhaps you, my judges, pronounce this sentence against me with greater fear than I receive it. On February 17, 1600, Giordano Bruno was led to Campo de' Fiori, his tongue gagged to prevent him from speaking his heresies to the crowd. Stripped naked and tied to a stake, He was offered one last chance to renounce his beliefs by being shown a crucifix. He turned his head away. As the flames consumed him, Bruno looked towards the sky, perhaps seeing not the fires of hell, but the infinite stars he had so passionately championed. He died a martyr, not just for science, but for the fundamental right of intellectual freedom, refusing to surrender his mind to dogma, even in the face of excruciating death. Giordano Bruno was largely forgotten for centuries, his name an inconvenient truth. But as the scientific revolution progressed, his radical ideas resonated anew. Galileo, who would face his own trial for heliocentrism, reportedly studied Bruno's works. Later thinkers like Isaac Newton and Albert Einstein would further unravel the universe's immensity. Today, Bruno is recognized not for specific scientific theories, but as a symbolic figure, a martyr for philosophical freedom, for daring to think beyond the accepted boundaries, and for suggesting a cosmos so vast and wondrous it still inspires awe. His burning pyre became a beacon, illuminating the path for future generations to explore the infinite mysteries of the universe. Giordano Bruno's story is a chilling reminder of the price of intellectual courage. He was not a scientist in the modern sense, but a philosopher who embraced the power of observation and reason, extending its reach far beyond the confines of his age. His vision of an infinite cosmos, teeming with worlds, lay dormant for centuries, only to be vindicated by modern astronomy. His death remains a poignant symbol, a man's silence for speaking truths the world wasn't ready to hear. Yet, the universe he envisioned lives on, a boundless testament to his indomitable spirit, urging us to forever gaze upwards and question, to explore the infinite within and without.